Here for this assignment, I've learned how to manage each other's timing while juggling with multiple assignments at the same time. The most important thing I've learned from this experience is how to slow down and match others' pace and helping them to complete their parts. In terms of assignment, I've learned more in detail about the development of TBVs to overcome malaria. I encourage every member to share their ideas and questions, especially when we are analyzing the PFS monoclonal antibody study. I made sure we built on each other's point during our planning and meetings, which strengthened our collective understanding of how transmission blocking vaccines can contribute to malaria elimination. Throughout this process, I upheld ethical and professional standards by ensuring all contributions were acknowledged fairly, meeting deadlines consistently, and maintaining open communication. I took responsibility to resolve conflicts constructively and keeping our group focused on our shared goal. This experience taught me that leadership is about empowering others and creating space for everyone to succeed together.
Throughout this presentation, I learned how to read and analyze a scientific journal article and explain its finding clearly. Every member contributed in different parts of this paper, which makes the progression run smoothly. This showed me that the importance of teamwork and communication. One of the challenges that I faced was to understand the experimental methods and also interpret the results. But we tried to overcome this by discussing the figures together. This helped to improve our critical thinking and confidence when we were presenting the studies. Overall, this experiment gave me a better understanding of how monoclonal antibody can help to block malaria transmission and support future vaccine development. And I believe the skill that I gained from this assessment will be used in future career.
Working on this presentation slide gave me a chance to see how research connect to the real life. It reminded me that even the small step in the science can make a big difference when it comes to the disease like the malaria. And I also realized how important is the teamwork, from collecting the data, reviewing the articles, and also analyzing the result. Every part is important for us. Preparing this slide helped me to appreciate that the effort behind the experiment of this article, but also taught me how to explain things in an easier way and clearer to my fellow friends. And overall, this is a good learning experience and made me feel more confident about sharing the scientific ideas of malaria in a much more simple way to my friends and also lecturer.
Reflecting on our medical parasitology project, our biggest strength was how we proactively fostered a highly respectful and supportive collaborative environment. To make sure that everyone had a voice, we implemented structured sharing sessions where we actively listened to all members and validated every member's perspective. This approach directly improved our group discussions. Instead of just like working in isolation, we consistently built on each other's contribution to advance our collective understanding. For example, when discussing the strict complement dependence of the antibodies, one of the teammates actually raised questions about clinical limitations, which I built upon to help put together the final points on our slide. Throughout this entire process, we applied rigorous ethical and as well as professional standards, ensuring that absolute academic integrity in our data interpretation and transparency in our work distribution. Ultimately, this experience didn't just push my growth in analyzing complex immunology in malaria vaccine development, but it proved how a professional team dynamically elevates the overall group outcome.
Through this oral presentation, I gained a better understanding of how primary research is conducted, especially the methods used in developing and evaluating monoclonal antibodies for malaria transmission blocking vaccine. Preparing the methodology section also improved my ability to read and interpret scientific journals articles, as I had to simplify complex experimental procedures into clear, concise explanations for the audience. During the presentations, I became more confident in presenting scientific information. However, I realized that the effective presentation is not only about understanding the content, but also about designing the clear and visuals appealing slide. In the future presentation, I will focus on creating simple slides with more visuals and less text, while continuing to strengthen my communication skills and presentation skills.
In this group work, I worked with my group members in a good and respectful way. I listened to their ideas when we discussed the presentation. My part was the problem treatment. To prepare this part, I read the article carefully. I tried to understand why PFS 230D1 was important and what the knowledge gap was during this work. I also asked questions when I was not sure. This helped me make my count more accurate and clear. My leader gave me advice about my slide. For example, my significance part sounds too much like result. After the feedback, I changed the part to focus more on why the study is important. I also tried to responsible. I finished my part on time and checked that my content matched the article. From this work, I learned how to work better with group members, how to accept feedback, how to implement my own work.